Don't fix the servers. Sure, can I have that in writing please? So this happened to me a few years ago, when people were allowed to roam the vast amount city streets without a mask. I am one of the 3 co-owners of a local teach company which also provided tech support. Now one of our big-time clients was an office for whom we had deployed 3 to 4 servers and provided special tech support as they were one of our OG clients. Now the storage servers that we deployed in the firm were old that had started to wear down and started to get slow. So suggested them to replace them with the new, more reliable and faster ones. And the owner, a very douchebag of a dude, decided to wait till the weekends, as they had a very huge and crucial project going on and he didn't want any time wasted as they were near the deadline, a week or so left, and told us to get the new servers ready to go, basically put together the new servers and install the softwares, etc., so that we could just go ahead and swap the servers and use the remaining time to check for errors, transport the necessary files for ongoing projects from the old servers to the new ones and all such stuff. Now the office had an employee who would look after and approve any and all repairs related with the servers. We too had to get his approval for any repairs related with the servers, unless we had the direct consent from the owner. Me. The above employee Elliot. The owner. So around 4 to 5 days before the new servers had to deployed, we went and did our routine checkups on the servers. We do routine checkups on old servers if the owner/buyer asks us to do so, and found a major issue with the servers that could lead them to crash hard. Like not being able to work again hard. So like anyone would do, we wanted to resolve the issue. Luckily it was nothing we hadn't seen. In fact, we predicted that it may occur, and would take only an hour's worth of downtime. So we sent an email to E that contained all the details of the issue and asking approval for the resolve/repairs. Elliot flat out within seconds responded with a big no. We sent an email again, asking if he was sure and stuff, and gave more details about the issue and how all the servers may crash if the issue wasn't resolved. He again responded with a no. So I called the owner and he said to do as Elliot said. When I told him that, Elliot said no, so he said, "Then don't do it." I asked that he in writing. He said okay, and around 10 minutes later we got an email stating the conversation I had with him. So we left it at that. The next day, we get a frantic call from the office saying that the servers had crashed, how they were behind schedule and how could not do any work, and how it was our job to make sure there were no issues in the servers and how we were to pay for their losses. I then calmly tell them that we in fact had told them about the issue and how serious it was, and that the servers may not work anymore and that they had to wait till the weekends for the new servers to be deployed as they were not completed yet. The owner got insane and said that we hadn't told them about the issue, but when I sent him the email chain between us and Elliot and his own email, he shut up and knew he couldn't do anything. He asked us to hurry the new servers and hung up. The next weekend we deployed their new servers. The best part is what would have costed them only an hour of downtime and repairs costed them 4 days of downtime and possibly a lot of money as they were late to finish the project. And yeah, Elliot was probably canned cause I never again saw or heard from him ever again, as I came to a new, more awesome employee the next time we went for repairs again. Undefined. And also sorry for the grammar and spelling mistakes. This is why I do 95% of my professional correspondence through email or text. Some people just forget what they say and get really upset when they feel like you put words in their mouth. And if you're always doing the right thing, it may save you one day from any misunderstanding. Without getting into too much detail, my wife works at a huge company that was starting to get caught up in fraud. She used all of her emails to prove her trying to whistleblow the situation when it was eventually found out. Fun grammatical fact. Costed is the past tense of the verb cost, used mainly in accounting. Cost is the past, present, and future tense of the adjective, describing the price of something. In this case, cost would have been appropriate. I only know this because a heated debate I had with a friend who always said how much something costed. I'm really curious what kind of server issue is detectable a day in advance, only takes an hour of downtime to fix, and will permanently damage server hardware if left unresolved. That sounds like a pretty major defect in the service your company provided. He spent the entire day at the amusement park trying to find us. I have an extremely jealous and attention-seeking younger brother. He is beyond obnoxious to be around. Interrupting everyone that talks. Talking twice as loud and 4x as much as everyone. Making offensive comments about people and acting offended when he gets pushback. I was just kidding. Jeez. He has a special hard-on for me. Interrupting my stories. Telling the punchline of jokes I tell. Loudly telling and retelling embarrassing or personal stories about me when we're in a group. He no longer gets invited to my gatherings, but occasionally will be at something with the few mutual friends we have. He began magically appearing at some of my gatherings last year. He's blocked on Facebook and I don't really invite the few mutual friends we have. So I don't know how he knew. Eventually I learned he'd been drilling my mother, who he sees weekly or so, about what I was doing, which she'd see on Facebook. I instructed her to tell him she had no idea from now on. Instead, he began asking to check his email when he was over her house, then quickly pop onto FB to snoop at my events. I have a large social circle and I'm always doing something, from group hiking to ball games to food truck rallies. One time he got wind that a group of me and my friends were attending a weekend spectacular at a local amusement park. He wasn't invited, literally none of us want him there, but he is so dishonest and manipulative. I knew he would show up as a coincidence and again glom onto our group, all of whom he's insulted or offended at one point. In an operation worthy of /r/petty revenge, I had a friend invent a who's attending bullspeep thing on FB. Then have all of my friends click attending with comments like might be late because of church. We all agreed to go on Saturday instead of Sunday. We all went on Saturday, had an awesome time, and took plenty of photos of the many events happening in the park that weekend. Sunday came, and I got endless calls I ignored and texts along the line of "Where are you?" He even tried to friend a few of my pals on FB, all just to find out where exactly we all were. Come Sunday night, we all posted our pictures, including one friend who is FB friends with him but didn't answer the invite. And he saw that we were all there and had a great time. He was beyond furious that he didn't see anyone at the events that we were supposedly at. He raised hell with our mother how he wasted almost the whole day looking for us. Icing on the cake? He couldn't ask specific questions about our trip without exposing how he even knew about it. Undefined. Edit 2. Got screwed by the spam filter. It's been fixed. Lamau. He got exactly what he needed. Good job. Do it a few more times, always the day before or after. Then when he figures out your game plan, set a day and go on that day. He will miss that one because he will figure you're setting him up again. I'm not always a fan of being unnecessarily mean to someone, but when literally the only way it'll affect them is if they go out of their way to do wrong in the first place. 100% on them. This is sweet. That isn't mean though. He literally had a bunch of activities around him if he could stop being a prick for 1 minute. It's not like he was in the middle of nowhere but in a freaking amusement park. I love this, and he deserves it for being so rude and nasty to you and your friends. It's time to say to him though, dude, get the hint you aren't welcome and no one peeping likes you. Heck, be really petty and report him for stalking you, lol. Okay, this is a joke, but it would be awesome to do, as essentially it is what he is doing. Sigh. It's unfortunate that you have to go to these extremes with your own brother. I have a cousin like this. Fortunately for me, he doesn't live in the same state, but for those family members who are so lucky, he's a total pain. We have an uncle who just passed away. The funeral is next week, and all this cousin can do is bemoan that he needs money in order to keep begging. Every post he's made regarding our uncle is only about himself and how I need him on in order to come to the funeral. No one ever invites him to any of the functions, but he always seems to get to them on his own. So maybe we'll all be surprised. I had a friend like this. He would follow me everywhere I went and cause problems between people in my friend group. He'd point out shortcomings of mine and try to get girls who liked me to like, obviously made them dislike him. He would stalk everything I did and just show up. He'd come to my apartment without warning because he saw a lot of cars in the driveway of my building. His excuse was always, you just have to tell me no, like the issue was me not being direct when I shouldn't have had to be. A really sneaky person who couldn't make his own friends. Couldn't imagine having him as a brother. Though, I've also given him incorrect information to avoid him before, then play stupid when he went the wrong way / to the wrong place. It's kinda like if they want to play that sneaky game, why can't you? It's just beating them at their own method. An old tale of hotel revenge. So this happened years and years ago. Quick background. A friend from college was getting married. It was originally planned for a cruise, but the company went out of business. So now, with all of us having booked flights to Florida, they had to scramble to find hotels for us. They were lucky enough to find hotels for all of us. It came to about 50 college friends in a hotel. Now commenced the pranks. Me and my roommate came into our room after being out to find the furniture all over the place. They got really creative, not malicious but a funny prank. Took us about an hour to move everything back and find everything they hid. Turns out they just went to the front desk and said they lost their key, and the desk just gave them the key to our room. Petty revenge time. We did the same for them, but knew we couldn't just rearrange the furniture. We took all the toilet paper and decorated the room. We even wrapped the toilet. We didn't leave a single square on the rolls. As the rule of unintended consequences. It turns out one of them had to poop really bad when they came into the room. Ripped the toilet paper off the toilet and pooped. Then they realized their mistake. There was no other toilet paper in the bathroom. Undefined. I've worked with a close group of people for years and we have to travel all over the USA. Often together. Over the years we've done similar pranks. One of my faves was short-sheeting someone's bed. It was always funny to hear them explain trying to slip under the covers at night. Only to find no space for their feet because we short-sheet. Just give me anything. Surprise me. I babysit for twin girls. When they were about 2. They would always fall asleep in the car coming home from our activities. Then they wouldn't nap once we got home. One day, I really wanted them to get their nap in. I figured if I went to a drive-thru and got them some fries, that would keep them awake till we got home. I went to the first fast food place I saw. A place I hadn't been to in years. I ordered some chicken tenders and French fries for the girls. Then I figured I should get myself something. So I asked for a hamburger. They asked which one. I said I don't care. Just give me a hamburger. Surprise me. We got home. Put the girls down for their nap. And sat down with my burger. I took one bite and had to spit it out. I opened the bun. Both buns were saturated in hot sauce and there was a dozen jalapenos. I counted. On the burger. I laughed so hard. Serves me right. Surprise me is a gambler's phrase. You get 2 people. The ones who surprise you with the very best thing they can make. And the ones who surprise you by venting their overworked and underpaid frustrations in food form. I worked at Dunkin's for years and depending on how nice the customer was to me depended on the variety of donuts they got in their mixed dozen. My fiancée likes to ask me to get her something when I go to the store. When I ask her what she would like to pick up, she says surprise me. This is the kind of thing that drives me really crazy because I am a very literal and analytical person and thrive on details. She knows this. Well, I am also a smarta and she knows that too. Whenever she does this I always bring back something like a single roll of toilet paper. Or a lighter she doesn't smoke. Or some trivial thing that I know she doesn't want. You would think that she would have learned not to do that by now. Nope. Safety warning. I do not recommend this kind of action to anyone who is not prepared for the consequences. Said actions as described above are almost guaranteed to get you in trouble. I just don't care myself. I do this on occasion with the staff at some restaurants and cafes where I am a regular. I trust you. Surprise me puts a lot of pressure on them and the kitchen staff if they take the job seriously. And figuring out how much the creation they produce costs can be a problem as well. But it also gives them something a bit different to do. And as long as it is not a fast food joint where menus are strictly controlled, it can also be a fun 5 minutes for them. And introduce me to tastes and combinations I would otherwise not have thought to try. When feeling adventurous or apathetic about food, I like to say, make whatever the manager eats when they are here. It's rarely fancy, but it is with the ingredients that are often the biggest quality. Cost ratio. It likely tastes great but the manager doesn't want to hurt profit margins too much by eating only the expensive stuff. If the worker says that the manager doesn't eat there or brings their own food, you probably don't want to eat there either. Why in the world do you assume that one? Busy restaurant managers always take time to visibly eat a nice meal in front of their employees when they are at the restaurant to work. 2. The employees always know what they eat. A lot of places just do a shared staff meal.